Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back right here to Hometown TCG. Today we got something spicy for you. We have the FaB Competitive Team League, and we got John Rooks on Viserai going up against Dorinthea. Let's get into the game. Both players have drawn up. We have the Viserai player
on the turn that I was.
We have Rooks going first.
Just barely not lethal, but it was a really good game. All right, I'm gonna try to. I don't play a lot on Tabletop Simulator, so I'm trying to make some dice bigger here real quick.
And then Shift Plus.
This is going to be interesting at the start of the league too, guys. Just watching people kind of set up. Some of this might get cut out. Setting up dice rolls, things of that nature.
Perfect. All right. If you're ready, I'm gonna start us off.
Ladies and gentlemen, looks like we're about to kick it off. We got Viserai going first. Let's jump into some gameplay.
I'm gonna start by playing Become the Arknight.
We have a Become the Arknight coming out from the Viserai. We assume we're going to get a Read the Runes red
search.
here. Assuming Read the Runes red here, looking to build some early rune chance, not letting the Dori player cycle out their hand at all. Super awesome play. Something you love to see if you are the Viserai player, something you're not a huge fan of if you're on Dori here.
Find Mordred Tide.
Wow, we do get Mordred Tide. That means I expect to see a Read the Runes somewhere. All right, we have Mordred Tide in hand.
I'm going to pitch to Grasp of the Arknight.
Pitches, we have
Rune Chant.
a Rune Chant generated, the first of what I assume will be many.
Play Mordred Tide, which creates a Rune Chant, and with my last pitch floating from Viserai, to be clear, I'm going to play Runeblood Incantation.
All right, we have a new Everfest card coming down. We have Runeblood Incantation coming down, making 2 Rune Chants, and then getting that ever-important trigger to be able to make more Rune Chants as the game goes on. So the ever-important Runeblood Incantation here right in frame. New Everfest card, good to see him. To be clear, that was a very non-attack action heavy turn, and no arsenal for the Viserai player. So the Viserai player slightly exposed into an attack reaction heavy deck. No D-reacts there, looking to be in the arsenal slot, but 4 Rune Chants generated first turn. We're off to a rousing start. Let's see if Dori can offer some pressure.
Spoils of War, pitching.
All right. Oh, so we do have a turn 1 Spoils of War. So the Spoils of War is going to create an interesting scenario for our Viserai player to see what they can accomplish. As I mess up the camera on TTS, and I will reframe that for us here, get us back to a nice little area where we can see what's going on. And we have a Hatchet coming in. So it looks like we got Hatchet coming in for 4 off the Spoils of War with some natural go again. Viserai player thinking. John is an analytical player. He's really going to think through these lines. Knows what he wants to do. There is natural go again. There is 1 pitch floating, 2 cards in hand. So we have at least a Hatchet of Mind following the Hatchet of Body. Hatchet of Mind, of course, will be buffed from the natural effect off the hatchets. Let's see what defense we have.
I'm going to... I'm going to block for 5.
Okay, 5 block coming through off Dread Triptych and Mauvrin Skies. Both very integral pieces of the deck, but don't generate any early Rune Chants. So it looks like we're offering, the Viserai players offering to throw away pitch. Wow. Closes the combat chain, drops red, hit and run, giving +3 to the next hatchet off of the natural +1. So second hatchet, 4/6, none floating, 1 in hand, either an arsenal target or some extra damage. What'll it be? Hatchet of Mind coming in. Big bad Hatchet of Mind.
And you currently have no pitch floating.
That's correct.
So you heard it here first. No pitch floating for the Dorinthea player. 1 card in hand. Hatchet coming for 6. On the threat of making 2 copper tokens.
I'll declare no blocks.
All right. We have no blocks coming
no
through for the
reactions.
Viserai player. No reaction. Viserai looking to take
No defense reactions. So I'll take
6
6.
here. Copper tokens being generated. And with the taking 6 here, we assume that there's going to be some heavy rune chant generation. Now remember, we will have a Runeblood incantation trigger coming to start this turn, pushing our rune chant value up to 5. I expect to see a read the runes. If you're the Viserai player, you're hoping red, but we definitely hope to see
Off
something.
the go again. I will push to activate my break. Loading 1. Hatchet of Mind 4.
I'll take 4.
Okay, so there was a Dorinthea trigger there. Dorinthea says whenever your weapon attack hits, you may attack an additional time. The hit and run did have go again. So we are looking at another 4 damage. 10 damage pushed through from the Dorinthea early on. Definitely some gas. Exactly what you want to see if you're the Dorinthea player. The Viserai player hopefully held onto something
Runeblood
valuable to make
incantation
this
will kill
count.
rune chant. I'm gonna pitch Sonata to play Runeblood Incantation.
All right, we have second copy of Runeblood
and
Incantation
then
hitting the
I will
board.
Pass turn to you.
So that doesn't generate a rune chant on this turn. It still leaves the arsenal empty, and we are set up to generate rune chants over the long term. But if the Dorinthea player can push through too much damage, the long term won't matter because the life totals will be 0. We're sitting on 5 rune chants, 2 Runeblood Incantation. Passes over to the Dorinthea player, and I'm sure we are looking to keep the pressure up. Naked Hatchet of Body coming through in the nude right now. Nothing
so
to
coming in
support
for
it.
2, no obvious go again, though you of course have refraction bolters.
And I think it's safe to say here, you heard John talk about refraction bolters. Blade Runner, ladies and gentlemen,
I'll
is
declare no
a
blocks.
card.
Any attack reactions?
I will react with Glint.
Fantastic no block from John there.
I
Drawing the Glint with no reprise. So Glint will give some go again. No reprise.
will let Glint fully resolve.
Okay.
Do you have any additional attack reactions?
No additional reactions.
John Sidek thinking his play through. He's let Glint fully resolve. The reprise trigger is off the
I
stack.
declare no block, or no. I have no defense reactions, so I'll take 2 damage.
No defense reactions. Both players have passed. The 2 damage goes through. Now, I'm assuming we could have a Dorinthea trigger here that just wasn't mentioned. So Dorinthea could be triggered, so you can attack with this hatchet again. It's possible. So we have second copy of Red Hit and Run. Wow. Second Red Hit and Run comes down, buffing the hatchet with the natural +1 to a total of +6, 1 card in hand, 1 float, a weird source of go again. We can trigger Dorinthea here. We can have another
Do you have any
hatchet come
attack
through.
reactions? I declare no regular blocks.
No blocks you hear
Reactions.
from the Viserai player. No reaction. Sink
I'm
below.
going to play Sink Below. Do you have any reactions before I resolve Sink Below?
You can resolve it.
Sink
I will
below
be
being
sinking
resolved.
once.
Sinking once. Drawing additional card. All right. We are still coming over the top 4-2,
Reactions
leaving
on
it.
my part.
I'll play
Rune
Reduce to
Blood,
Enchant Red.
reduced to Rune Chant, is going to create another Rune Chant token,
Do you have any attack reactions now?
blocking
No, no
all of the
reactions.
damage.
No further defense reactions on my part.
So no hit there. I'll pay one to come in with Hatchet of Body for 3. Off of the go again from hidden room.
Yeah.
So-
I have no regular blocks. Do you have any attack reactions?
No reactions.
I'm gonna
We-
play Sink Below.
We have second
choosing not to
red Sink Below.
Okay, sounds good.
So we've seen 2 Sink
Ah.
Belows, we've seen reduced to Rune Chants, a lot of defense reactions coming out in that
Sorry,
hand.
this matchup's like gonna be a ton of passing priority.
Dorinthea player gets to keep an Arsenal card, which
Okay.
is so valuable. We have 2 Rune Chant triggers to start the turn for our Viserai player. We have 1 card in hand. Will it be an Arsenal target? Will it be a playable target? I cannot wait to find out. Dorinthea player draws up. We pass to our Viserai player, making 2 Rune
Create
Chants.
2 Rune Chants here.
Ticking down our Rune Blood
Incantations.
incantations, one at a
Move to
time.
end step.
Okay.
I will
Dorinthea-
Arsenal card and pass to you.
Dorinthea looking to keep up the pressure as the Viserai player arsenals
Counter
and passes. Here we go. This is a big turn for our Dorinthea player. We do have a cash
Coppers.
in. Oh my goodness. The cash in here is going to be huge. Getting that additional card in the hand, this might be a gigantic turn. It will be very interesting to see how we can withstand the pressure from the Viserai side of the table. Big turn coming through. Lots of Rune Chants in the wings ready to be created. And Spill Blood does get dropped. Spill Blood, if we remember, axes get +2 and dominate. So each axe will have +2
Axe
and
gain
dominate.
+2 and dominate.
Sounds good.
Big turn coming
Outland
through.
Skirmish.
Outland Skirmish looking to come down, buff the initial axe, maybe look to create some more copper tokens. And we have Naked.
So this is for
Not Naked. Hatchet of Body.
5, 7.
Yeah, 7 dominate.
7 dominate coming through. We have an Arsenal target on the Viserai side of the board. We're hoping, if you're the Viserai player, that is some kind of unmovable. You've got to hope that that's
And you
some
have
kind of
3 counters on
unmovable
Tunic?
in the Arsenal. Lots of attack reactions here available for our Dorinthea player. Looking strong, looking to turn up the pressure early in this game. Viserai really behind the 8 ball here, poking at equipment. We might finally see some equipment blocks come through. 2, 4.
I'm gonna block 4, 7.
And we will block for 7, a reprise on the table.
Play,
Another Glint the Quicksilver.
draw.
Dropping on the table, triggering the draw. We have drawn 3 cards on the Dorinthea side of the table. Wow, this is a spicy turn.
Actions on your part.
Go again
I have none at
happens.
this time.
Blocking out all of the damage. The pressure is unreal with this deck right now, ladies and gentlemen.
Combat chain.
Combat chain is closed. No copper created off of that attack. But remember, Outland Skirmish will float for the rest of the turn.
Hidden run.
And we have a yellow hit and run. The follow-up hit and runs have been strong. The follow-up hit and runs
Yellow,
have
okay.
been relevant. We got +2 to our next axe attack, stacking off the +2 from Spill Blood. This could be a big swing. 1 pitch floating, 1 card in arsenal, 1 in hand. What is it going to be? Push
Personal.
forward comes through for +3. This attack will be +5, +1,
Double dominate.
8, double dominate, dominate ×2. Pitching our blue hit and run. 8, dominate. It's time to find out, is that card in Arsenal an unmovable? It's time to know. We gotta know, what is the Arsenal card? Will it be unmovable? 8 dominate coming through for our Dorinthea player. 2 pitch floating, no cards in hand. Let's see what we've got.
So this is for 10 dominate.
1, 2. Axe is 3, 4. 5,
And
6,
you have
7.
no cards in hand and 2 pitch floating.
8, 9. What? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm struggling to count.
I'm gonna.
I don't think this is
declare
10.
Block with Scaletta, and then move to defense reactions.
It was, ladies and gentlemen, it was a
I'm gonna
red
play
unmovable out of
from
Arsenal.
so
but
that'll
I-
block for 10.
All right, so we are blocking 10 here. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It was 10. Ladies and gentlemen, content creators can't count. It was 10, and the Viserai player, John Rooks, has blocked for 10. Really important defense there. Remember, we had 2 draw triggers on that turn between the cash-in and the triggered Glint the Quicksilver. So it's great to get out of that taking no damage. We're going to generate 2 rune chants. First incantation from the first turn pops.
Play red read the runes to generate 3 more rune chants.
All right.
Move to end step.
Sure.
Our Viserai player
Pass.
building up a decent arsenal of rune chants. We're looking at 13 rune chants in the chamber. We're about 7, 8, 9 short. Talisman of Warfare coming through. When your
Blow up the
source you
arsenal,
control
yeah.
deals exactly 2 damage to opposing hero, destroy Talisman of Warfare in all cards in all arsenals.
Your deck's pretty neat.
Ever best tech.
A lot of crazy cards that I have to read.
You hear it here first. You hear it from our Viserai player. What a neat deck.
Swing for 2.
2 coming through. What's it gonna be?
Oh, 2. um.
That's
normally I
right.
wouldn't
And you
block
saw
that,
it here
but
first.
I,
It's naked too, completely nude,
right?
nothing covering this 2
Okay,
damage up.
You get another block on Skullcap.
Whoa, I was recording something for Instagram and it looks like the playback happened.
As it go again, and my next attack has +2, or next weapon attack.
We do see right here our first copy
So I'm
of Blade
currently
Runner.
taking 1.
That's right.
Skullcap out of blocks. First copy of Blade Runner coming down. This card is clutch. A lot of Everfest tech showing face up in this deck. You'll love to see it. Hatchet of Mind with the initial +1 and the +2 off Blade Runner coming in for 5 damage total. And 5 damage here is weird because, as we know, from the perspective of the Viserai player, if we block with a 3-cost attack, we're staring
nothing
down
special
this
about this
Talisman
one,
of
just,
Warfare.
Just 5. No on-hit effects besides that if I take 2 damage, Talisman of War pops.
Right, just a raw 5, no crazy hit effects attached to it.
You heard it there. No crazy hit
And you
effects.
currently don't have Go Again.
No go again. No pitch floating. 1 card in hand.
I'm gonna block for a total of 8.
Blocking for 8. Betting on the attack reaction initially coming through. No face up go again here.
That's fine.
3rd copy of Glint is an option. Looks like we will get the Skullcap block. Combat chain will end. Our Viserai player lives to build up rune chants and fight another day. Final trigger off that 2nd copy of Rune Blood Incantation.
Then create 3 more from Red Read.
And 2nd copy of Red Read the Runes comes through, buffing our rune chant total up to 17, getting closer and closer to that OTK point, where our Viserai player is going to look to pop Scaletta, drop a Sonata, and go to town.
Hit and run.
Priority passing to our Dorinthea player, we have blue hit and run, the first hit and run we have seen not played to buff the 2nd attack and possibly get a 3rd weapon swing in. Blue hit and run landing on the table. Vigor Rush Tech from the Arsenal, 4/4 with Go Again. What a play. I would have guessed 100 cards in the Arsenal before I would have guessed Red Vigor Rush. This is
I'll block for
spicy.
3 and declare no other blocks.
I love to see it.
Actions.
I have none.
Viserai player taking
So
one.
take one.
Red Vigor Rush, jumping out of the arsenal. The next weapon attack still has go again. Lots of spice for our Dorinthea player. Pitch down to
So
one.
this is for 2 go again.
Naked hatchet. Completely nude. Nothing covering this hatchet up. What are we going to do?
I'll block for 3.
The 3 block coming down. Reprise is on the table. Viserai trying to keep that life total in a manageable situation. Now, as we get lower and lower on life, it's important to note there is no null rune. Face up, no arcane, no low-level arcane barrier on our Dorinthea's board. Dorinthea is fully all in and committed to winning this game with aggression.
Red hit and run.
Oh my goodness, that is the 3rd red hit and run. 3rd red hit and run, ladies and gentlemen, drops onto the table. Buffing our weapon attack. The weapon attack is getting spicy. We have another hatchet coming in for 6.
Huh?
No more Runeblood incantation triggers, I believe, on the table. What is it gonna be?
And you have how much pitch floating?
0.
0.
No pitch
And you
floating.
have
1
3
card in
counters
hand.
on Tunic.
3 counters
That's
on
right.
Tunic.
I'm gonna just block for 3. Any attack reactions?
No reactions.
I'm gonna
Second
reduce to enchant red.
Copy. So we got an Oath of the
blocking for
Arknight.
7.
It's a blue that blocks for 3. It's why it's in this deck. And followed up with a reduced to rune chant. It looks like 1 damage will come through.
Use my counter to create a resource.
Making a resource here. Red Vigor Rush times 2 Electric Boogaloo. What is going
have
on?
no cards at hand. And I do have an arsenal, but it's 4 damage and no on-hit effects.
Right. Just,
I'll take 4.
okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, the spiciest of spicy tech coming out from our Dorinthea player.
then I will
Double
pass
red
back to you.
Vigor Rush. Viserai got nothing to do. At that pivotal rune chant moment of 18, still looking to probably get 20, 21 plus, and the right combination of cards in hand. Back to the Dorinthea player, only a 4-card hand. The Viserai player is hoping that they can withstand this naked yet still intimidating hatchet of body coming through.
Coming in for 2.
The 2
to blow up my arsenal. That's
the 2
so
damage,
in his deck. Oh, that's I
far
love
more
it.
threatening.
So funny. Okay, I just can't believe I'm blocking all these naked axes with equipment. But,
And we are getting
yep,
equipment
I'll block
blocks.
for 1.
Our Dorinthea
Okay, I'll
player
react with Blade Runner
is
red.
pushing through some
Sounds good.
unique and weird blocks. We have
That card
Blade
helps us
Runner,
deck a lot.
attack,
actually.
react,
Big
giving
time.
go again, next attack plus 3. You hear the players talking about it now.
I take 1. Yeah.
You hear the players talking about it. They love the Blade Runner tech. Blade Runner is
Oh,
so
yeah.
good.
Action, technically, I'm gonna close the chains there.
Oh, well, chain
But
won't
you're
be-
about to. Yep.
And
Yeah,
Sharpened
that's good.
Steel drops. Sharpened Steel, a Welcome to
So
Wraith
+6 on the
buff
next
for
attack?
0, giving plus
Yeah.
3. Blade Runner plus
Big
3,
one
that
is
plus
for,
3. Plus
what is
6,
that?
coming in for 8 damage.
Yeah, that
Big 8
6,
damage coming in right here, right now.
9 looks correct. And you have no pitch floating or 1. Sorry, none. It looks like,
No pitch
Yeah.
loading.
and 1 card in hand.
What's it going to be? 8 damage. Staring down 8 damage. Probably looking to hold the Spellbound Creepers. Don't want to commit the Creepers yet. Would like to keep... Cannot block with Skeletta again. Would like to keep that option available for the big go-off turn. What's it going to be? Is this the turn our Viserai player is looking to pop that Skeletta, drop the Sonata, and go to work. We're at a pivotal moment of the game.
No blocks.
We have no blocks coming in. 8 damage,
Attack
9
reactions.
damage, just thrown all over the place. No attack
I
reactions.
declare no defense reactions and take 9 damage.
9 damage. Our Viserai player goes down to 12 life. The Dorinthea player has their foot on the gas. They are not letting up, but Viserai has kept a full hand. They are ready to go. I would be surprised if we don't see either a ton of rune chant generation or a pop-off turn right here. Skeletta available. Spellbound Creepers available. What are we going to see? Viserai player looking through the graveyard, seeing what we have available. Dorinthea player sitting back, knowing the attack is coming. The damage is on its way.
I'm gonna
Skeletta
Skeletta
is popped.
Okay.
I don't. Your deck's so different. I just want to make sure. Do you have any reactions before I move to, or any instance before I move to the rest of my turn?
No, you're good for now.
Okay, sounds good. I can't think of anything Warrior can do here, but I just don't want to like.
Here
Yeah,
comes
yeah,
the
yeah.
Sonata.
Lose the game on the spot.
The Sonata Arcanix
Alright,
is coming
so,
down. There is 18
I'm
rune
gonna
chants.
say X is going to equal 9 because I have 18 rune chants.
X is
We'll be
9.
flipping 12 cards. Is
So
that
we're
good
flipping-
to occur?
Yeah, you're good.
We'll be flipping 12 cards off the top of the deck. And remember, for every non-attack action with the Sonata Arcanix, for every non-attack action and attack action combination card combo we see, we get to put the attack action in the Viserai's player's hand, and we throw arcane
I'm
damage.
actually gonna. I don't want them to fall off the table, so I'm just gonna do it somewhere safe.
All right, and the flip has occurred.
Things that are neither, I'm gonna set way over there.
Yeah.
We have some non-attacks that we're seeing right now, and we do have some attacks. So 4 non-attacks. And
Some
it
of
looks
these
like...
are stacks.
Okay. So it looks like we do have some stacks. So it looks like the Viserai player...
So messy. All right, so it looks like it's 5 and 5 or 5 and 6, but I don't get that. Oh nope, thank you. It's hard to even see what my own cards do. So 4 damage. Thank you.
So the Viserai will throw 4 damage, and they will put in their hand Shrill of Skull Form, Swarming Gloomveil, Meet and Greet ×2. And the 4 damage comes through the first damage of the game for our Viserai player. But if you've played this OTK Viserai build, you know this is where we're going. Damage is coming through starting right now. I'm interested to see what the next attack is. And remember, our next attack costs -18. We can play anything in the
draw
game
these to hand, or do
on
you need more time to
Viserai
look at 'em?
right
No,
now.
you're good. You're good. You can add them to hand.
Our Viserai player draws the cards to hand, and that has got to be, right here, one of the largest flesh and blood hands I've ever seen. We've dealt 4 damage, 18 rune chants sitting in the wings, Bloodsheath pop. What's it going to be? Our next attack is super cheap. What are we going to see? Wow! We
I'm gonna
see
generate an action point by playing this at instant speed.
a Rattlebones at instant speed
And
out
target
of
Ninth
the
Blade
arsenal.
Blood Oath. I will also create a Viserai trigger for an extra rune chant. I'm
Looking for
targeting
dice.
Ninth
We're
Blade.
running out of dice, ladies and gentlemen, on Tabletop Simulator. We've used Tabletop Simulator out of dice. We will make a rune chant on the Viserai side of board. We have 1 pitch floating. We have 19 rune chants. We've targeted Ninth Blade. It can be played this turn. We have an extra action point, and here it
then I'm going to come
comes.
in with all the rune chants, leaving 1 back.
Yeah, so 19 rune chance.
That's right.
19 rune chants coming through, 19 damage to the face. What a swing, and 9 physical. Still on the board. We have 9 physical damage still being thrown at our Dorinthea player. Now, Dorinthea, sitting behind a lot of armor, has a full grip, has a card in arsenal. This game is not over by any stretch of the imagination, but gosh darn it, we are doing our best to get there. How are we going to block this attack? Dorinthea player definitely thinking, wants to block this the best way possible.
6.
Block 6, looks like we will opt to take 3.
I have no attack reactions.
Take 3, getting closer and closer, and remember, Arcane damage becomes blockable when the Skullcap gets turned on. However, I don't think that's going to be a good way to use any cards remaining in the hand. And we do see now, we know there are meet and greets in hand. We've done arcade damage. There
come
is
in with Swarming Gloomveil.
a
and
swarming
one rune chant back.
Gloomveil
All modes are active on Swarming Gloomveil.
with all modes. That means it has +1. It has go again, and if it hits, they cannot prevent arcane damage for the rest of
Taking
turn.
the one
Arcane hits, Swarming Gloomveil for 4. We know this has go again. We did see the 2 meet and greets for 4 sitting in our Viserai player's hand.
So it looks
This
like a
might
full block.
be enough gas to get there. Dorinthea will be full blocking this. Here is the first of at least
I'm
2
gonna
meet
come
and greets.
in with meet and greet red for 4. On hit, create a rune chant, go again, and 1 arcane, 1 rune chant back from Viserai's ability.
1 arcane being thrown, 4 physical, hit make a rune chant. So many triggers.
You took the rune chant, you said?
Yeah.
Rune chant damage taken, down
And,
to
taking
12.
the 4 damage here.
Taking 4,
On hit,
generating
create a chant.
an extra rune chant, which this could be extremely important. We know there's a second red meet and greet in hand that we saw flipped up. Here comes the yellow read the runes pitch. Expect to see
Pitch yellow, read the runes.
rune
To come in with rune flash.
flash. So much go
costing
again in
1
this hand.
and 2 rune
We have
chants, 1
rune
chant
flash
back.
coming through. This is insane. What a turn from the OTK Vis. We got 4 and 2
For
coming
4?
through.
Yeah, 4 go again, no on hits.
Taking the 2 rune chants.
Dorinthea down to 6. It's getting tight, ladies and gentlemen. It's getting warm in here. What are we going to do to close this game out? What an insane combat chain we're looking at. And we will commit bracers. Our Dorinthea player
4.
commits bracers and skullcap, smartly waiting for that skullcap value to be obtained before we used it.
Without
Here
closing
comes
the
second
chain,
red
I'm
meet
gonna
and
come
grain.
in with meet and greet and 1 rune chant.
And
And
it
1 rune chant back. On hit, create a rune chant.
Yeah.
on hit creator rune chant.
Taking the 1 rune chant. And I'll block with Tunic and take 3.
Oh, we block with Tunic.
Get a
We
rune chant
take
back.
3. Make a second rune chant. If we have something to pitch
and
here.
then pitch Mob Skies to come in with
Rosetta,
Rosetta
for 2
Thorn and
2,
2 rune chants for
and
2,
2.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like our Viserai player
Okay,
is
sir, you got
going
it.
to
Hey, your deck
get there.
is
What
super cool.
a game.
What's it?
All right, guys, welcome to the post-game wrap-up here. You just watched an insane Viserai v Dori build, and we got John here from Team Ascent. John, what were you thinking going into the game? How are you feeling?
I don't know if you caught this as part of the stream, but I had some flashbacks to my early days of Flesh and Blood, where Christian Gilbert, shout out to Christian Gilbert, excellent Dori Axes build, by the way, just kicked my butt with Dori Axes. And I saw those axes and I was like, oh no, don't get me. But at least I have a huge stack of defense reactions. Dori can't be good against defense reactions, right? And I just crossed my fingers and prayed because I had no idea what was going to happen.
Well, you did a good job getting in there, and previous trauma aside, you did come away with the win, but I want to ask you about a turn 1 play. Turn 1, you became the Arc Knight. You had the dream draw for the OTK Viserai build. You got to become the Arc Knight, but you have an interesting target. Walk us through quickly kind of that decision.
Yeah, so maximum rune chant generation on that turn is to get red Read the Runes there. Mordred Tide, which is the target I went for, generates less rune chants and normally is incorrect. But in this very specific matchup, I really wanted my Read the Runes to be in the deck and my Mordred Tides not to be in the deck, because Axe's Dori goes very wide and can build these very tall hands, and you can often be left with only 1 card in hand. and Mordred Tide is garbage if you only have one card in hand, while Read the Runes is an excellent card. So I sacrificed 1 point of Runechant generation early on, so I'd have sweeter targets later, and it did turn out to pay off this game. I actually ended up drawing a large number of Read the Runes, so I was pretty happy with that decision.
Yeah, we saw the Read the Runes coming through. You built up, and then finally you went off at 18 Runechants. For our OTK Viserai players, our fans out there, or maybe people who want to know how to play against OTK Viserai, why did you feel that 18 Runechants was enough to get through? What's kind of your pain threshold there where you decide it's time to put my foot on the gas?
So usually I want to be at 20 plus Runechants to be going off, closer to 24 if it's somebody who has Crown of Seeds and really good blocks like Oldhim or even Starvo. But Dori has problems pushing damage with a small hand. So I thought even if I got a little bit unlucky with my Sonata that turn, I did have the Rattlebones into Ninth Blade in my discard pile to push extra damage. I did have Mauve Skies and Rune Flash in hand for extra attacks. And I thought it would be good enough to get Dori low and to put her into a game mode that she doesn't want to be in, blocking mode. And I had enough defense reactions to be able to play back into her better than most decks do when you're both on low life totals. That said, I got insanely lucky and drew, I don't want to say perfect, but I drew 4 cards off 13, and what cards they were. Between the meet and greets and the swarming gloom veils, I got exactly what I wanted. So it was, I don't want to say an easy kill. It was still close because I only had 18 Runechants, but I was able to close the game out.
Yes, and we noticed the flip was a very nice flip, and flipping cards in TTS sucks, so kudos to you. And what a great game. Shout out to you. Any final words you want to give out, to anyone else, to any of the fans watching, anything you want to say before we close it out and we look to take down next week?
Just a great game to my opponent. I appreciated the game. I thought it was really friendly, and he brought such an interesting deck to the table. So shout out to him, and of course, shout out to the team that helped me prepare for this match.
Well, dude, that is awesome. It was a great game from your opponent. It was the same thing. Thanks for taking the time, and then good luck in your game next week, man. We're looking forward to it.
Talk to you later.
And then if you guys are here checking out the channel, make sure you subscribe, make sure you join the Patreon, and you can be coached by these guys that are out here in this league taking some wins. So check us out at patreon.com/HometownTcg. Really check out our content. Thank you so much. And you guys have a Twitter now. It's Ascent Gaming or Ascent LLC.
You're going to have to ask Bove on that one. He just put that together, but yeah, that sounds right.
I'll link it in the video description somewhere out here. Again, shout out you guys, and thank you guys so much for hanging out. Until next time, my name is Josh.
And I'm John.
And we'll see you around.